Hello, welcome, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this Fighter Jet Roundtable Season 2, Round of 16, Part 2. That's right, with this we will officially be halfway through the Round of 16. And what do we have in store for you all? Well, we have Titans of the Air and BD Armory smashing together, clashing, all for your amusement. So let's go ahead and get down to the Watchtower and the round table and see what our competitors have in store for all of you and each other today. So here we are back at the round table with Kaz Kerman and our wonderful Watchtower to check out the first of today's combatants. We have over here on Team A, the JFX 50E Super Regolith, sent in by none other than Josue, the man, the myth, the legend, one of the many BDA developers and people behind, this mod right here. And adding really great stuff to the settings and doing all kinds of stuff with the stealth rework. And basically, he is a man-made legend. Guy never seems to take a rest. He's always doing something. And he submitted this behemoth, this monster of an aircraft, to take part in the competition. So let's see what it's got here. First things first, it has enormous thrust capability with these 4 Saturn afterburning engines. Also, if that wasn't enough, it's got these cheeky little buggers right down here. These little tiny Pegasus engines adding even more thrust. So if you're counting, that's 8 engines. 8 engines on this monster of an aircraft here. Absolutely monstrous power. And as far as its special weapon, it has the pulse lasers for much pain. Internally, it also, due to this thing being chunky, has reaction wheels. It had far too many for my liking, so that was changed and stripped out. So it should have less herpy-derpy ability than it had before. I had to set a part HP limit on this aircraft. Particularly because people were going to try and game the hit point system. It is just about the maximum amount of hit points it can have. Yes, the maximum would have been 10,000 hit points for any singular part of craft. I'm pretty sure that is craft file edited to make sure it is below the limit. Normally, I'm against craft file editing, but in this case, I will make an exception, as otherwise the part would have been too big and too powerful, and I don't really see a problem making your plane weaker when it comes to the part editing. You know, I think that's fine. So, that being said, these two aircraft are exactly identical, black and red, danger and death, getting ready to fly through the air. And, let's go ahead and see what Josue will be fighting. And over here on Team B, we have the Avro Aero FJRT2 sent in by Kurgan, the legendary Kurgan. Yes, some of you may have seen him around on the KSP forums for quite some time as one of the main testers behind many of Spanner Monkey's various weapon mods and other such things. In fact, he recently re-released a series of various missiles and such, including a competition version of it specifically so that it could be included in competitions like these ones. Kurgan has been testing missiles for KSP and BDA for ages, and we are honored to have him partake in this. He, of course, was overtaken by real life, as many people are, you know, as opposed to simply fantasy and other such things. And so this aircraft was tuned to the nth degree by Josue. So, in order to try to prevent any conflicts of interest or strangeness, Kurgan's aircraft, which was tuned by Josue, will in fact be fighting Josue's aircraft itself, so that only one aircraft touched by Josue will effectively be continuing on in any way, shape, or form. I think that's awfully fair, just to make sure that things stay even. As far as weaponry, the Avro Arrow here is packing HPAAs for its close-range heat death special weapon. Very, very nasty. And the new BDA GAU-22 guns. Slipped right there, under the fuselage, for all to see. Yes, I'm rather proud of that. The model is not mine, but the stats basically are. Those of you who are part of the BDA competition can thank me effectively for bringing that gun into existence and balancing it throughout the entire season of FJRT2. So, thank you to the BDA developers who, number one, make all this crazy crap possible. Thank you to the people like Kurgan who put so much time and effort into making sure our tools of destruction here manage to function and not behave in a silly manner. And, well, thank you to everybody who I hope will be enjoying the deathly GAU-22 in the future. Alright, enough talking by me. Let's go ahead and get these aircraft into the air, shall we? And here we are, Josue versus Kurgan, BDA Dev versus Missile Tester Extraordinaire. Who will win? Both of these aircraft are very tanky and very deadly, very capable of whipping around and dealing all kinds of death. So it's just going to be a matter of, well, which one manages to take more punishment. That being said, get them into the air, start the competition! And there it is, competition officially starting for Episode 2. Oh, and the Regos are already launching missiles. We've got meteor missiles coming in. Those meteor missiles, interestingly enough, are actually balanced using stats that Kurgan himself put together for another mod. I basically took those stats, put them into this meteor to make them useful, and to make sure that we could cut down on any, you know, any weird stuff. That being said, we do have first missiles launched. Let's go ahead and hit that auto camera and dogfight mode. And looks like we are headed for the Avro Arrow, which, well, at least looking from the Avro Arrow's perspective, other people were complaining last time that I didn't leave the weapons thing up. I will do that this time. I personally like it because it leaves things, you know, it clears things up if I close it. But, you know, hey, people want to see what they're using and when. I can get down with that. So we're having a massive missile merge here. Haha, MMM. And we've got pulse lasers coming from one of the regoliths. And GAU-22 shots and a bypass. We're moving into the furball phase. True dogfighting about ready to take place here. Arrow turning on target. Looks like we've had a hit of some kind. Regolith manages to get a shot, it looks like, on the regolith with those pulse lasers. Both of the Regos actually staying pretty close to one another. Rather interesting. Not something we often see. Those GAU-22s doing their best to chew into the beefy regolith there. Aim 9X, hitting a regolith from a regolith. Team fire, truly ahead of their game here. More pulse lasers coming in, trying to hit that arrow. Arrow has a very wide shape, but then again, so does the regolith. Regolith is a huge pulse laser target. Oh, Arrow this time getting hit by an Aim 9X. Looks like it's lost its wings. And that thing is basically a gigantic flying surfboard. Arrow has been hit, but it's still around. Oh, and a collision! Regolith only managed to lose, looks like 3 parts. Alright. And of course, the cockpit survives, as they are wont to do. But it shouldn't survive for too long. It's on the ground. We've now got a 2v1 situation, and nobody likes to be in that kind of a situation. Would stand to reason that Josue would be able to make some really nasty aircraft. After all, he is one of the people, one of the main developers, in fact, behind the BDA version that we are using. Just in case all of you aren't clear, or anybody who's watching this that, well, you know, is watching for the first time, we are in fact using the one that has been developed for Runway Project, along with all those fixes and enhancements. It is far, far better than the legacy version you can potentially get elsewhere. That being said, it looks like round 1 is going to go to Josue and the Super Regolith. Can the arrow shoot to kill? I guess we'll find out. And we're back for round 2. Let's go ahead and get them into the sky. You know, I'm always hoping for a round 3 between these fighters. And as it stands, so far it looks like the Regolith just is mean. I can't say it's lean and mean, because it's anything but lean. That thing, I think that weighs more than any other competition aircraft in the entirety of the round of 16. I would be very surprised if it wasn't. Those engines alone are just so chunky. Well, I guess it's time to shut up, and we'll come back when they start beating the crap out of each other. And competition should be starting any second now. And there it is, competition start, and almost immediately, once again, the Regoliths, they're going to be launching those meteor missiles. Alright, meteors are in the air. We'll switch to the auto camera and hope for the best. Oh, and a ram! That's bad! Oh my goodness. Do you know what? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna call that a tie. And here we are back for effectively a third round between these two. We need a definitive win. We're gonna keep going if they keep tying. The fact that the Arrow is still flying, and the fact that the Regolith is still flying, is a true testament to just how tanky and survivable these two aircraft really are. And I just realized if the Arrow wins this, then I'm gonna have to... We're gonna have a, like, round 4 or whatever. Where's the other Regolith? What the hell? The other Regolith seems to be having some control issues. Alright, at this point, their separation is 35 kilometers, so I am actually going to, I'm gonna call it there and say effectively that, that's, well, I mean, in theory, I guess, how long is this gonna be running? About 70 seconds of burn time. What's this one got? This one has... Let's refresh that there. This one says it's got 45 seconds of burn time, and it shows no signs, so in theory, I gotta say, I think the Regolith is gonna run out of fuel first. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna say that this is over. This is another tie, which means we're gonna have to go to another fight between these planes. Okay, so here we are again at what is effectively the round 4 between these aircraft. We've had 2 ties. We had the Regolith winning in round 1, followed by 2 effective ties, and now this is to try and figure out who the definitive victor is. If they continue to tie... If they continue... Oh, you know, okay, I'm saying it right now. If they tie a 3rd time, I'm gonna just say screw it. And I'm gonna put 1 Regolith and 1 Arrow on a team together moving forward, because this is ridiculous. I've never seen 2 aircraft basically more evenly matched in the way that the outcomes are going. This is nuts. And there it is, competition starts. This time we'll go to the Arrow specifically. Hit the autocam. Also, let's just make sure that, where is it? Camera tools, dogfight camera, okay. So we've got the Regos now coming in, dodging the Abro Arrow. Well, the Abro Arrow is missing those. What is going on, camera? What is this? Alright. Maybe it's something in the camera tool settings. Yeah, pathing, 0. Now I'm going to turn the IVA off just to be safe. Might be trying to do something funky with a cockpit that doesn't exist or something, or an interior rather. Okay, so we've got the 2 aircraft again coming together. I've never seen 2 aircraft tie this often. This is ridiculous. Oh! We have a PL-15 hitting one of the Super Regos, but it eats it for breakfast and has almost no ill effects that I can see. In theory, it might have knocked off some countermeasures or something, but I don't know how much that's going to affect things. Ooh! Super Rego getting hit by an HPAA. Too bad we didn't see that. I'd like to switch to one of the Regos. Actually see how damaged, if much at all, they are from that. That's the damaged Arrow. That is definitely... Or sorry, that is the damaged Regolith. Definitely the kind of damage you would expect to see from an HPAA. And it's only still alive because of those tiny little Pegasus engines. It seems to have lost its rear engine cluster otherwise. I don't see... Yeah, I'm not seeing... Oh! Okay, and that Arrow has definitely seen better days. Still flying, though. Or falling with style, in this case, I suppose. Oh, clean pulse laser shots. Stripping a wing. That Regolith is getting ready to stall, basically. Pegasus engines. Oh, and the other Arrow goes down. This could finally be the nail in the coffin for the Arrow. It's effectively a 2v1. Coming on, that could be nasty. Good shots. Clears the other wing off. Now it's basically a flying box. And, well... I just... Okay, we need to just... Look, yeah, look at this. That regular... It's just... It's like it's T-posing to assert dominance over the arrow. And, the winner for the first fight between these... Oh, God. For the first matchup is... the Super Regolith. I feel like we need the wide walk meme at this point. Oh boy, so, at long last, we are finally here for the second round of competitor. Oh my god, I just realized I still have to do the final fight. Just to suffer. Anyway, here we are, back at the round table for checking out the new style. Over here, the Tactical Air Control Squadron Mirage, or Mirage Squadron. Over here, we have the Gear Falcon and the Super Aquila sent in by Box of Stardust, Box of Dust, or just Stardust. A legend, also a legend among the aircraft building and competition community, as well as a part-time helper and developer for the BDA crew. Over on the other side, we have, on Team Ricer, we have we have the F-120F, the Civic, sent in by Ledgolak, who has been, well, who's been grooming Son of Smith's Discord over there for the fight a subscriber type stuff when it comes down to fighting aircraft. And of course, he is an avid. Both of these two competitors have partaken in the ASC fighting competition. So, Air Superiority Competition, I believe, is what it actually stands for, and that's another BDA competition. So, both of these guys, very, very capable in their own right. So, let's see what they've got in store for us here. So, let's go ahead and look at the Gear Falcon first. Very sleek-looking, very Stardust-looking design, honestly. Not sure what those are. Looks like air brakes, maybe just... kind of doing some of that cool stuff. Pretty cool. I like the coloration on it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the weapons. We've got HPAAs, PL-10s, 12s, and 15s. So it's going to be primarily focusing on beating the crap out of stuff in close range. I believe, could be wrong, I believe this is the post-stall terror that has been that he's been working on. Very interesting to see how that will come across. Very light, very nimble aircraft. Over here we have the Super Aquila, which I believe is a rehash of something he tried to submit in Season 5 of Fighter Jet Showdown that was run by Jimmy. The one immediately after Tape basically left us all, and we miss you, Tape. That being said here, we've got 4 engines on this nasty-looking fighter. Very kind of F-18, F-15 vibes, along with some very cool... I like that air brake setup, not gonna lie. Looks cool. Plus the little wing caps actually on the end are pretty neat, liking that. This has the arc light EML along with a single gun, which is the Medusa Heavy Autocannon, one of the ones that were originally outfitted on the Gorgon Super Fighters. There's your Medusa Heavy Autocannon. This thing is going to pack a hell of a punch. That arc light is going to hurt if it manages to hit stuff. Center line, very nasty. Let's go ahead and see what it's got on the other side, though. What will these beautiful, very sleek-looking, soap bar-looking aircraft going to be fighting? And here we have the Civic, once again sent in by Ledgolac over here on Team Ricer. We have, well, lots of clipped parts. I mean, to be fair, that's kind of like the ASC standard, etc., and all kinds of other things. But, I mean, I don't know. It's awful. I hate the way this plane looks. I really do. I hate it. I hate it so much. I want it to die. I don't know if it will, though, because it's actually a pretty good fighting aircraft. That being said, it looks like it's rocking pulse lasers for its special weapons. This is a nimble little beast. We'll have plenty of teeth, and it rocks 4 engines. Looks like it's got Saturns for its main engines, and tiny little Typhoon engines, which are deceptively and ridiculously powerful for their size. Let's see. In addition to that, it is, like I said, quite small, very small target. Lots of parts, though, with all those different stuff going on. Those 2 aircraft are, however, exactly identical. I guess it will be interesting to see how these 2 friends and competitors match up. So let's go ahead and get them into the sky. So here we are. Let's get them going. Now, I'm not sure which one of these aircrafts are actually going to be the faster one. I'd probably put it to the Civic, to be honest, just because of how tiny it is and just how many engines it has. Like, it's nasty. It's a really nasty little bugger. Should have named it the Mosquito. Certainly pesky enough. And the competition starts officially. The 2 aircraft are now heading toward one another. And to make things, well, at least a little more entertaining, we are going to switch to, let's go ahead and switch to the Super Aquila and hit that dogfight button. There we go. Aquila's coming in. Missiles being fired from both aircraft as they get close. Dumping chaff, trying to evade those long-range missiles. Civic's moving along at quite the clip. Like I said, they have a lot of power on those engines, in that engine cluster. Especially considering how tiny it is. Ooh! Pulse lasers from the Civics. HPAA smashing a Civic from the Gerfalcon. Another HPAA. Ooh! Switches to guns very briefly. Civic doing its best to evade missiles being fired there. Close range missile shot. Something happened. And that Civic getting annihilated by an HPAA. Clean kill. This is now effectively a 2v1. Aquila is now extending. Missiles locking on the target behind it and now tracking in. Not sure what it hopes to accomplish by extending that far. Maybe it's more boom and zoom. A mix of the two while one keeps it busy. That being said now, it appears to still be extending. It is very interesting behavior. Finally now turning in. Looks like it's getting ready to use some long range. Oh, and a meteor hitting the other Civic. It's gliding. I don't think it has engine power. That is very bad. Surprised we had a close range meteor hit. I guess it's not that close. I wasn't sure which one actually hit it. Ooh, and a 120D. Oh, I bet it's out of chaff. It is. It's out of chaff. It is being hammered. There's the aircraft. It still has pulse lasers. And there's the Medusa firing. You can hear it. That heavy chug, chug, chug in the background. Oh, lighting up the Civic there. Very, very nasty. Well, looks like Stardust is going to, well, looks like Stardust managed to, not step on any... Well, I guess Stardust did end up stepping on a Lego. But that was only round 1. Let's see if round 2 has anything different to say. And here we are, round 2 for these planes. Start competition, get them up there. I do like the unique strategy here going on between the Aquila and the Gerfalcon. It seems that the Gerfalcon... Jeez, I tell you, that name. The Gerfalcon is designed primarily around close-range fights, while the Aquila is designed more for a boom and zoom type with lots of long-range missiles and other such things. The pass that they go, they manage to very slowly fire their missiles and deplete the enemy of chaff before trying to distract them. It's an interesting tactic and one that I haven't seen utilized quite like this. It's actually very clever. Like, props to Stardust for coming up with that. Just the mix of tactics. It's pretty good. Though, if it does manage to swat down the Civic, that really makes me wonder how it's going to handle the Regolith. And competition starts. The aircraft will now begin to do their thing. We are going to hit the auto camera and let it do its thing. As soon as it makes up its mind about what it wants to do. There we go. 120Ds being launched by the Civics. Seems like they have speed limits put on them in order to try to... What? Okay! We have some fun going on there. Not sure what that's about. Alright, we have the long-range standoff as both of the craft do their best to evade long-range missiles now coming at them. Beautiful flyby of the Civic. A beautiful flyby of a hideous-looking aircraft. Offense, Lego. I know you're a great guy. I hate the way that plane looks. Alright, we've got pulse lasers. The Civics are out of missiles. They're now moving in to try and shoot with... Oh! Civic getting hit by an AIM-9X from the Super Aquila. Aquila now appears to be bugging out. Fires missile load and is now speeding off, leaving the Civics to fly around and attempt to fight the Gerfalcon there, which is spinning around post-stalling with those pulse lasers. Or wait, no, it doesn't. Yeah, it has the pulse lasers. Wait. No, it doesn't. Does it? I don't remember what it has. It has guns. But I guess we'll figure out once it starts shooting and the chaff cloud is finally gone. Uh-oh, chaff gone! That Civic, gonna have a bad day. Radar-guided munitions coming in. Meteor absolutely destroying the target. And all we have left is the final Civic here, which is basically a husk of its former self. The Aquila coming in with that Medusa. A heavy cannon hitting, dealing damage. And down it goes. Well, Stardust moves on to the finals and leaves Lego picking up the pieces. That being said, we do have a clash of true titans of the air about to take place. Let's get to that. Here we are for the first match of the finals of Part 2 of the round of 16. We have Josue versus Stardust. Mirage Squadron versus Team A. Let's go ahead and see how these two aircraft manage to hold out. But yes, I really have to give props to Stardust for getting some sort of a tactic for boom and zoom to work. It's actually pretty smart, putting the Gerfalcon there in order to distract enemies at close range while the Aquila runs long-range interference with those missiles. And after having both of them use a large number of those missiles, at the very least from long range with the radar, in order to get the chaff count down, or to better set the Aquila up for success. I mean, it's a combination, a layered strategy, and honestly, it's working quite nicely, all things considered. Who knows? This could potentially be the future, where we have a close-range combatant and a boom and zoom. After all, pure boom and zoom doesn't always work that well, all things considered. Mostly because as soon as both aircraft turn tail and start running, they're not going to outrun a missile, and they're definitely not going to be outrunning guns. And the competition starts. Let's go ahead and hit the autocam. Right. Already, we're onto the regoliths. They are launching those long-range missiles. Let's go ahead and open up the thing. We'll check chaff and flare count as they go. Let's open up the weapons just to be sure. Alright, we are getting into pulse laser territory soon. Right now they're still avoiding chaff, or still avoiding missiles with chaff. Hey, I've been at this a long time. Okay, you would be too. Ooh! Regolith getting hit with a PL-15! Those are pretty nasty missiles. Let's actually see what we can see for the regoliths. That one looks pretty good, and kind of hard to tell. How is that one looking? Well, they're both actually looking fairly healthy, but hey, damage is damage. Pulse laser is now up and ready, getting ready to fire. Super Aquila still engaging on a target. Now it's extending. Aquila getting hit with something, probably a pulse laser. But manages to bug out after loading some damage out there. At this point, the Gerfalcon is being left to the regoliths, and since it's utilizing post-stall capability, it is entirely likely that it will be a floating target. That being said, the Gerfalcon is over here, effectively by itself. It is, however, turning around to fire on the regolith. Looks like it's just slightly missing. That's another, that's actually pretty smart too. The Super Aquila that far off and running, it gives the Gerfalcon a chance to fire its weapons at the tail of whatever is chasing it, and in this case, the Gerfalcon has managed to blast out one of the regoliths. It's still sort of flying, but it's much, much weaker than it was before. Still has its pulse lasers, though. The Aquila is again extending. Looks like it's actually lost its engine power. That's going to hurt it. PK-27s and Medusa heavy autocannons. I did a double check there. That is actually what the Gerfalcon is. Well, that's what it's rocking. Got the intact Super Rego lining up a shot. Gerfalcon getting some nasty damage put on it. It has lost its engine. It doesn't... Is the engine The engine sounds like it's still firing. It is harder to tell. Those NMB engines do not have exhaust trails. Also because in real life engines don't really have much in the way of exhaust trails. Unless they're contrails and very high up, but etc., etc. At the very least, you can't really see them. Falcon, though, is still moving. Once again, the Regolith is trying to T-pose for domination. Though it's more like an F pose because it's, you know, it's kind of lopsided there. Falcon trying to maneuver to get into a good firing position. But with that one engine, it is suffering somewhat. Arclight. Oh, for just a moment it had the Arclight up and running. I haven't even see. Oh! It once again targeted the Arclight. I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see an Arclight kill. Oh, the Regolith and the Swan rammed each other. That is very bad. Wait a minute, the Swan only lost one part in that ram, and the Regolith lost almost 83. Which one is the damaged one? That's the damaged one. Aquila getting dangerously close to that terrain. Oh, man, okay, this is actually getting pretty tight here. Gerfalcon just lazily drifting, kind of keeping that Regolith in check there. Regolith really unable to maneuver since those very small sustaining engines are just not enough to keep the craft really flying. I mean, well, it's kind of sort of floating, but it is descending, and it's not enough to give it much maneuverability or capability. It's There's no way the Regolith can pull up. It doesn't have enough thrust. It just can't. It's locked there trying to gain altitude. I can see what happens if I turn off its pilot for just a moment. But I don't think that's going to help it. I'm willing to turn off guard mode for a second, too. That doesn't seem to do much either. Yeah. It's managing to balance on that tail with the weight, but there's not a whole lot it's going to be able to do. It is basically on a slow descent back to the ground. The Regolith is not looking like it's going to do quite well. At this point, I think I'm just going to, well, if I haven't already, I'm just going to be cutting to when the inevitable effectively happens. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the Regolith has managed to basically land and take off again, and is now flying. However, with so little power, it makes an easy target here for the Gerfalcon. And this time, it is not going to be recovering from that. That means that this round will be going to Mirage Squadron. We're back for round 2 of the finals, into the sky with them. Will the Regolith be able to claim the title? Will Stardust manage to rise to the heavens? We could find out right now. And competition starts. Once more, we're going to hit the auto camera. Watch these planes come in. At least attempt to. Not sure why it keeps doing that. There we go. It's gotta be the auto settings just being screwy. Probably using a stationary camera or something. And we're just gonna do this the old-fashioned way then, I guess. It's being annoying. There we are. Not that you really missed much, they were basically closing in on each other. But now they are definitely firing missiles. And again, I'll open up the weapons tab just so people can see what they are using and when. And you get some locks there with the PL-10s. I don't know. The Regolith is definitely tanky, but with Stardust's aircraft strategy, getting the tanky aircraft to basically show its vulnerable backside. Ooh! Holy crap. Okay, Vixen being absolutely annihilated by a PL-10. This is bad news for the Aquila. This is now effectively a 2v1. Without its wingman to support its strategy, I don't have high hopes for what's going to happen here. Flying by, immediately going into the extending behavior. Getting hit by missiles of some kind. Not sure what exactly there happened. What exactly happened there? Come on, English. Regolith's now chasing down the Aquila. Still very, very fast and very capable, even though it's lost some of its main propulsion. Firing a missile, presumably locked onto a target behind it. All it's got is 120Ds and the Medusa autocannon. It is fast, though, and putting distance between it and Regoliths. Regoliths are chasing as best as it can. Aquila now turning to engage on targets. 120D now being fired. It is away. And I hear chaff being launched. This could be close. There's only one 120D left on the Aquila. It's now extending, trying to put some distance between it and everything else, but all it has there is the Medusa. The arc light appears to have been taken off by a missile shot. Looks like the Rego is trying to get some pulse laser shots there, but not particularly accurate at the moment. This could be its chance to drop it if it gets good pulse laser on. It could be overheated, though. Oh, we're seeing pulse laser shots. This could end it. Yep, Swan just getting hit. Ooh, multiple hits. Jeez, and we can just see the Swan there getting absolutely chewed apart. Very pretty aircraft, honestly. But, there's no doubt about it. It's not going to be winning any contests with no weapons at that point. It is stuck in the extending behavior and literally has no real weapons. At which point, I'm going to have to call the match in favor of the Regolith. That means we are tied up 1-1. This could be anybody's fight. Here we are for the last fight between these two aircraft. Only one can walk away as the champion, the victor. Will it be Box of Stardust? Or will it be the Super Regolith and Josue? Stay tuned, because we're about to find out. Good luck to both our competitors. And they're definitely close enough. Starting competition. And once again, the Regos get their launches off first. The Aquilas Once again, the Aquila's evading that meteor. Very nice cockpit view there. And again, let's maybe get those weapons out. I believe those are PL-12s or PL-15s that are being launched right now from the regoliths. Moving in, attacking the Aquila. Not sure where the Gerfalcon is. Aquila looking very slick there in that flyby, gotta say. Traditionally, the Gerfalcon is, well, if it gets taken out, a close-range weapon at this point, this could be very bad. Super Aquila now on its way out to try and begin its long-range striking runs. Also has some backward-firing missiles, as we can see. I believe they're backward-firing PL-10s. There's Super Regolith on its tail, firing at those pulse lasers. Meanwhile, the Gerfalcon is actually lighting up the Regolith right now. Let's switch over to the Gerfalcon. Gerfalcon on the tail, getting some decent hits in that engine cluster. That is arguably the weakest point on that aircraft. The other Regolith is doing its best to keep pace with the running Aquila. Gerfalcon not wanting to get off the tail of that Regolith, it's chasing it down. Nasty little predator, that's for sure. Regolith still on the Super Aquila. Has not wanted to let go. That Regolith, oh, backward firing missile! That was, oh! More explosions on a Regolith as the Gerfalcon continues to strike it. Nasty little dogfighter, that is for sure. Regolith now stripped down to a single Saturn engine. It's probably got some, can't remember what they're called. Like, Pegasus. The Pegasus engines are probably still there. But only one operative main engine. Ooh, and a beautiful quick camera shot. Oh, that would have been awesome. Gerfalcon coring out what looks to be the last of those engines on that Regolith. It's going to have to work hard to try and get its speed back up. Vixen post-stalling, burning a lot of its speed to stay on the tail of that aircraft. Oh boy. Whew. Camera angle probably made them look a lot closer than they actually were, but oh, that's scary. Alright, let's see how this Regolith is doing. This Regolith is the damaged one that's being shot at by the Gerfalcon. It still has those Pegasus little tiny... Oh! Regolith killed by the Aquila. Oh my god, I wish I'd seen what that was. Is the arc light on cooldown? I can't tell. It doesn't look like... It is! The arc light was on cooldown. It killed it with... That's an arc light kill! Guys, that is the first arc light kill. Since it's... And it is firing. You can see it just came off of cooldown there. It won't show the reload animation, I think, if it switches to a different gun. Oh! Whew! And in a hell of a fight and a hell of a performance. Box of Stardust. Mirage Squadron, composed of the Super Aquila and the Gerfalcon. Both of these aircraft will be your winner. So, that means, so far our two finalists heading into the round of 4 are Android and Stardust. Congratulations, Stardust. You managed to take out one of the toughest planes in the competition. Well, this is going to be interesting. But, until next time, I've been Kaz. Happy building, and happy blasting.